Well, hello and welcome back to the Four Roads Out of Warba podcast. I'm joined by the Warba Quartet. Its members include Tippy Tater Alligator. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Bort. Hello, sir.
Hey there.
And Bob. Hello.
Hello.
I hope you gentlemen had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
As I hope you did as well.
Thank you. It's been a month or so since we were able to do this. My schedule's been crazy and it's been nuts. I know you three guys have been busy too. And yeah, we'll start out with Bob. What's new in the world of Bob?
Been crazy with the weather up here. It's just been so cold and snow. My water had been frozen for about a week and a half, so I had to rip all that apart, redo it, and yeah, it's been a lot. But we're all good now. We got running water and showers all good, toilets all good. So we're riding high now.
Excellent. How about you, Tippy? What's new in your world?
Oh, just enjoying some free time right now. About a week ago after that, what was it, like a week and a half back home where it was like below zero every single day?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, after Christmas, I decided to pack up my camping gear and head south and just try to find warmer weather, go to places I've never been before, and just found myself in North Carolina tonight, kind of on a whim. So
Cool.
See if you can find the nature boy. Woo! Woo! Woo!
Speaking of which, I have a pet peeve I forgot about. We'll get to that later. It has nothing to do with Ric Flair.
Oh, okay. Like, I just hate Ric Flair.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Bort.
Hi.
Before we go to you, how much snow did you get today? You got dumped on, right?
Yeah, I mean, when I snowblowed this afternoon, I measured 10 inches in my driveway. I had at least 5 or 6 the night before when I had to shovel when the same snowblower didn't work. There's another inch on the ground now, and it's coming down hard, so it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
What tonight brings.
Ah.
But I'm kind of sick of the snow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The whole state of Minnesota, I think, is sick of the snow.
This winter's been brutal.
I got Bob's snowblower set on the highest trajectory for the snow. I can't get over the top of the snowbanks at the bottom of my driveway anymore. It just hits it on the top and it goes right back down.
Is it running better now?
No.
Yeah, I was having problems with the carburetor. It was leaking gas. But I got it to work and it wouldn't die ever on me. It'd sputter a little bit at first, but once it got running, it ran fine.
No, it dies every 30 seconds. So.
Snow a little faster.
I know up here in Rapids, we got about 2.5 feet on the ground, and it can just go away when it wants to. But besides the weather, what's new in your world there, Bort?
Nothing too much. I just beat my first video game of 2023, which is Marvel's Midnight Suns.
Is that any good?
It's a very, very good game that gets a little too long-winded with the character development.
Okay.
Where you just like enough already. I want to get back to the missions. And then the story just goes a little too long too, where, you know, I loved the game the whole way through, and then the final 3, 4, 5 missions, I was just like, okay, I'm done.
Who's the main villain in it?
Just some demon lady named Lilith.
Oh,
Yep.
sure.
And
A
then
multiversal thing, and that's that Lilith from Borderlands?
no. They bring your character, the avatar that's meant to be you, back from the dead, and you're supposed to be her kid who killed her 300 years in the past. And it's just weird because then you got all the Marvel characters worshiping your character as, you know, the god above all of them, and it's like, it just feels weird in that regard.
Sounds
Yeah.
great.
Mm-hmm. So, but I like the game. It was a good game.
PS5?
PS5, I think it's on PS4 as well.
Maybe I'll get it for Brian. He can play it. He can tell me how good it is.
That would be
I'll
an
watch him.
interesting challenge for him too, in a
Yeah.
turn-based strategy card game.
You know, he's good at all these games. He's very good at them. He reminds me a lot of you. Just picks them up, no problem. Goes right through them.
I'm amazed at some of the games he's beaten. You know, you just told me Crash 4, he beat no problem, and with Cuphead, I could not believe he beat Cuphead.
He's probably 3/4 of the way through the new God of War, Ragnarok. So,
You know, we gotta try him on Dark Souls.
but he's also like you because he gets mad and I'm like,
I don't do that anymore. I do not do that anymore. I've got.
But you did when you were
better
younger, and it reminds me of
Oh,
just
yes,
like
I
you
did,
were
yeah.
when you were younger. I'm like, that is your Uncle Jason when he was your age.
Yep, no, I absolutely. I that's one way I've matured as I've gotten older.
I had a very surprising and wonderful Christmas gift sent up to my house this past Christmas. My wonderful cousin Port got me my very own copy of Dark Souls. So I was excited.
Cool.
Yeah, I can't wait to get into it again, but yeah, very cool. So this week we sent out a group text and we're gonna list our top 5 pet peeves. And I think we'll just start at the bottom of number 5 and we'll go up from there. Mr. Tippy, would you like to start us out?
Yeah, sure. Mine aren't in any particular order, but when the topic of pet peeves came up, the first thing that came to my head is, but these first two are going to be complaining about things that other people do. And the first one is, I'm sure everyone can relate to this one, is people that don't use their turn signals, which I have encountered just about 5 times today alone. I mean, I don't know if I even have to go into this subject, how infuriating it can be, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You know what's cool? When you see it and you're driving a squad car and you can do something about it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And you walked away from that life.
And me and Dudu would be driving around. Yeah, we had fun doing it. It was fun. But it's nice when you can see that. And it's like, oh, I'm actually going to do something about that.
What do you think we should do? Should we let him go or ticket him? Ticket him!
Yeah, I'd always have him decide. I'm like, your pick. What are we doing?
Did you do like the thumbs up, thumbs down?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's let him go. No turn signal.
Well, so with the turn signal, so we got mad as game. So turn signal wise, being not using it. What about somebody leaves it on? Does that bug you just as much or not at all?
Not really, because I've seen myself do that before, and I feel like quite an idiot afterwards. So just the feeling of being a banana head is
Banana head.
enough punishment.
Nice. I'm gonna throw myself in here quick because one of the ones I had besides I matched you with the blinker. The other one was people that drive with their brights on at night when you are meeting them and they don't turn them off. That just bugs me. It bugs me. So yeah, that's just a quick one of mine.
Especially with the
It was.
especially with the new,
It was.
the new white lights, that blind you.
Yeah.
You know what's equal?
Yeah.
You know what's equally as annoying? When you got a bonehead in the semi behind you with the regular lights on, but they shine right into the back of your windows like they do have brights.
Buy a bigger vehicle.
Don't drive so close to me.
Quit doing 45 in the fast lane then. Bart.
Hey, Bob, what game is your youngest playing?
God of War 3.
God of War what? Ragnarok?
3.
Yes.
Yeah, the old one. I'm watching it because there's one scene that I got to make sure he doesn't watch. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I told him after he fights that battle, then we can skip that scene. He'll be good.
Oh.
So.
All right, there, Bort. What you got for us?
Well, my number one on my list is people who yell at video games. I kid. No, I got a quick story before I get into mine. The best speech when I was in college, we had a speech class, and we had to give a 1-minute speech. And I'll get the speech because a girl gave what I was the best speech I've ever heard in my life, where she, in the first 30 seconds, built up this thing where she was like, she was in the bathroom and there was this cute, adorable little girl, the greatest little girl she's ever seen, wore a dress, was just so polite and kind, and then she did something that made me hate her forever. And I'm like, what in the world could this possibly be? And that was all build up to the little girl took the paper towel dispenser and just goes took like 6 feet of paper towel to dry her hands.
And that made her hate her forever.
Well, that was a pet peeve of hers because people use them way too much. But
yeah,
I've never forgotten that speech in over 20 years because of how well she gave it. I thought that was a good one to put in here. Okay, my first one on my list. Oh, this one gets me. You know how you're driving down the road? It's amazing all these are driving. And you're driving on the side and right along the side of the road, not on the nice paved walking path. You get those people riding bicycles on the road, the ones in the bicycle shorts and the bicycle pants that add to their aerodynamic. They're supposed to be exercising. Why are they trying to make the bicycling easier? Shouldn't they be trying to burn more calories? They should be wearing like breakers, But anyway,
Parkas.
They drive me insane. They not only sometimes ride on the side, sometimes ride in the lane. They think they're better than you because they're on the bike and you're killing the planet in your car. But then they make your life miserable. You want to try to get around them. You can't get around them. And if you do somehow manage to get around them, say, for example, you're, in the city, you get around them and you, for example, on a 4-lane road, 2 on each side, you'll pull up to a stoplight. This bicycler who's supposed to be on the road because, they're supposed to follow the rules of the road. What they'll do then is they'll ride up in between all the traffic and get right to the front of the stoplight and make you have to get around them again. They're the absolute worst, least considerate people in the world. They drive everyone insane except for themselves. Nobody loves them, including their own mothers. And we really wish they would all just go away and their little bicycle shorts burned in a fire so they can be stuck at home with nothing to wear.
Those, oh, doo-doo.
In the wintertime too, when you get dumped on with 2 feet of snow and nothing's really plowed well, they'll ride down the road like in the slow lane. But I was just going to add to your bicycle shorts thing. Have you seen them professionals that have the bike helmets with the little side mirrors that come off?
Mm-hmm.
Those guys know what they're doing. Well, thank you for that, Bort. Bob, what you got for us?
All right, my first one. Me and Doodoo have actually argued about this before. He completely disagrees with me on this. People, not so much on trucks, but motorcycles, when they first start them up, and just rev them for like 2 or 3 minutes, just to let everybody know they have a motorcycle. It drives me nuts. I get it if you're taking off drive, that's fine. But after like 2 or 3 revs, I get it. But you don't need to do it for 5 more minutes. That drives me insane.
We argued about that?
Yeah, and because they're showing pride in their motorcycle, and I'm like, I don't care, it's annoying. So we argued about that.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
If you had one, I'm sure you'd be proud of it too.
I'm too cool for a motorcycle.
Okay, all right.
I got a van, a minivan. You know, we're minivan people. Jade, or abort minivan people.
I so desperately want to not be a minivan person anymore.
Tippy, you're missing out.
I took my driver's test in a minivan. I think we talked about this.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks, gentlemen. Yeah, the driving thing. We all think we're the world's greatest drivers.
Excuse me.
You know. So yeah, the driving thing is just. It's very frustrating. Lots of patience needed. Slow people in the fast lane, blinkers, high beams when they're driving, fog lights. If you got to use fog lights to drive, you should just throw your license away. I'm sorry.
I sometimes just drive with my fog lights, nothing else.
You would.
Like a challenge.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna go to number 4 now, I guess. I'll start it out since mine will be quick. People that don't return their carts to the cart corral at stores. I hate that. If you are so lazy that you can't put your cart back, then don't take one. All I got to say about that.
Yep.
Uh-oh. Yes, sir. Tippy.
Have you seen the YouTube channel Cart Narc?
No.
It's this guy who goes and accosts people in the parking lot who don't put their carts back.
Oh, really? Can you say what's the name of it again?
Cart Narcs.
Dude, that's awesome.
That is cool.
It's pretty entertaining. Some people really get mad. I think he had a gun pulled on him at one point.
Hey, Doodoo, didn't you used to work at Rainbow Foods and push those carts? And you guys would have contests who could push the most?
Who could push the most? And now, like, I don't know if it's everywhere, but at like the Walmart up here, they got those little buggies that you have a cart in the front end, and then you
weenies.
Yeah, I know. It's like back in my day.
Mm-hmm. I remember you telling me about having the contest about pushing the most carts.
Yeah, in the snow. Oh,
yeah.
Oh yeah, been there too. Store job in high school. We had like a with the hook where you line up a bunch of carts, put the hook on the back, and pull the rope, and then steer the front.
Oh, okay. All right.
And then eventually we got a buggy, so that was pretty cool. I love driving that thing around the parking lot.
Funny. So, right, we'll go in reverse order. Bob, what you got next?
This is a very small pet peeve, I think, that just happens in my house. I love my kids to death, But whenever they grab something from a box in the fridge or in the cabinet, if it's the last thing, they leave the box in the cabinet or in the fridge. So then when I'm excited to go, oh, there's still a brownie or something, you go in there, then you get an empty box. So you have to throw away somebody else's garbage, and I don't get a brownie. So
don't kids learn from their parents?
they learn from their uncles.
Oh.
Yes.
Why am I getting thrown under the bus here?
Yes, Brian?
Look how ugly that woman is.
All right.
Good to hey, Dad, before you time to say that.
Beautiful, Brian.
Those eyebrows.
What you got for us, Mr. Bort?
Skip me for a second. Go to.
Okay, what you got for us, Tippy?
People who like to stand in doorways or unknowingly are standing in a doorway. It could be for 1 second, it could be for 10 seconds, but there's no excuse for this one. If you're entering into a place, you can at least take 5 steps forward to decide where you want to go, not or have where you want to go pre-planned instead of as soon as that door opens for you, you're just right there. The worst place to encounter this is Fleet Farm by the auto entrance.
The one that you said after I defeat and give
Because
the
of the
control to
proximity of the
you.
cart rack,
Display, I'll show it.
it's like you're following someone in there and they can't decide if they want to grab a cart or not, and they're standing behind them going, hey, you need to get some windshield wipers here.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir, Bort.
Can I tell a story about Tippy's pet peeve? One time I was visiting my mother down in Arizona, and I decided to go to the Walmart at about 4 o'clock. And this Walmart was it basically looked like a zombie infestation with all the old people hobbling around in there. They all had to get back in time for the news and stuff like that. And anyways, it was me and my oldest, and we checked out, and as we're walking out the door, we got caught behind this very, very old dude, the ones who can only barely move one foot in front of the other and just kind of putters along, but he's going through the doors and he is just so slow. He gets through the first one, he gets to the second door, stops right in the middle of the 2 sliding glass doors, so right where they would shut. Blocked up enough room both ways. Goes into one pocket slowly. Goes into the other pocket slowly, looking for his car keys. And then a receipt falls out of his pocket, so he leans down. And meanwhile, my oldest, she's like, Dad, why aren't we moving?
Just right to the point, no
And I'm
filter.
just like, be patient. And meanwhile, I turn around and look, and there's a line of people building up behind us. This old dude just still not moving. Finally, he catches us out of the side of his eye, looks, and he hobbles forward 4 feet. And I'm like, thank you, sir. And then he goes, you could have went around.
Old grump.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they have a right to move slow, and to do what they want to do, but he could have been decent about it. Oh, sorry, Yeah. What you got for a pet peeve, sir?
Number 2, crossing guards.
No. Hey, no. I was one in elementary school.
If you give absolute power to someone, they will abuse that power. Absolutely. It is a truth written throughout history, and you should never give.
Thanks, Spider-Man.
You should never give anyone that much power. because they will abuse it. And I've seen it time and time again. And the ones who aren't smart enough to abuse it are the ones that are sitting there twirling their flags around, making things very confusing for the people driving. And they're just waving their flags around, not paying any attention, being like, oh, look, there's the sun. Yeah, well, they're not very good at their jobs. Probably why they're not getting paid. But yeah, I don't like them at all. Never have. But
Well, it'd be tough.
Huh?
Well, go ahead.
I complained about it once on Facebook, where I talked about how crossing guards are the worst people in the world. And I found out that day that a cousin of mine who is not on this podcast, who I didn't even know was using Facebook, actively stalked Facebook, and one of his daughters was a crossing guard. And he was very upset at me that I insulted his daughter by saying crossing guards are horrible. So, yeah.
Well, the thing with them, at work there, I'd get calls about, crossing guard violations and stuff, because what would happen is people would drive through them. They would try to get the license plates, which they'd never write. A 7-year-old. What was the license plate?
Mills.
Yes. But also, I mean, the kids, they're 7. Their attention span's, that much. So they're out there just kind of twirling a flag around, and then a car comes, and they slam it down quick because they're trying to do their job, but the car's already halfway through the intersection. But then, they committed a violation. Then they go run and call the adult, and then they have to radio. And then by the time it gets to us, we get there trying to figure it out. You can't figure anything out because, you have no idea who the kid is. You have no idea if the license plate's right. So, yeah, that part was annoying.
The ones at my youngest kid's school, they call the crossing guards in 10 minutes before the bell. I mean, they're useless. There's still kids walking into the school and they're not there. Okay, now you can ream me, Doo-doo.
No, I'm not going to ream you, sir. I think that the system is screwed up. Who are the parents or the administrators that are putting that kind of power in a 7-year-old's hands? Get off your lazy ass and get out there and make sure the kids cross safely. I mean, don't expect a 7-year-old to not eat a cheeseburger when you put a cheeseburger down in front of them. I mean, come on.
The poor kids, what do they get from it? They have to get to school a half hour early, sit outside, freeze. Other kids make fun of them, and they got to stay late after school. What do they get?
Exactly. They get yelled at.
Yeah, and demeaned by board up there. So
you guys caught me in a bad mood tonight. So.
Can't tell.
All right, number 3. It's just if you can't. School nowadays, from what I can tell, well, I don't even know. Does school teach driving, or is it an outside thing?
Outside.
Really? Okay. Well, I'm showing my age because back in my day, they taught it in the school, and they, depending on who you had for a teacher, I had my old football coach. So he would show you. If you didn't know how to check the oil, how to check fluids, how to change tire, stuff like that. Kids nowadays, if you can't drive in bad weather, then don't drive in bad weather. I got a messed up heart. I can't work, but I'm working 3 days a week, driving cab in Grand Rapids, Minnesota, and I got to get places. I got people to pick up stuff. And Miss Sarah, that's coming from high school, can't freaking get out of the way because phone in one ear and she's trying to run her wipers with the other. And, just go home.
Like Carol, get going.
Exactly. So that's mine. Tippy, I'm interested.
Okay. So I don't really drink coffee, soda, or energy drinks on a regular basis. What I like to drink to get my caffeine content is pure leaf iced tea, specifically the unsweetened black tea. And they fill these bottles up so high that whenever I take the cap off, it's guaranteed to spill on something. Most likely my crotch. And if I do get the cap off without spilling, the first drink I take will want to, half a sip will want to pour out my mouth, usually ending up on my crotch. And this literally happens about 75% of the time, every time I drink one. But I'm not going to stop drinking it. So.
They don't make those type of drinks for people with beards, any kind of facial hair, because it's so full that when it goes like that, the connection between the lip and the bottle's not there, and the drink goes down your beard. I mean, it's discrimination.
We got us a class action lawsuit, I think.
I appreciate the fact that you're getting your dollar value, down to the very micro ounce.
Yes, that's good.
That is good, so you got to take the good with the bad. So.
Mm-hmm. Bob.
All right. Well, mine is another Walmart or grocery store, whatever pet peeve. When there is somebody, in front of you that hasn't checked out yet, but they're waiting in line and they have like a humongous cart full of groceries. And then you walk up behind them next in line and you have a can of soup. If I see that, if I have all the groceries, I let that person go ahead of me so they don't have to wait for 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. I hate when people don't do that, pay attention and look like, oh, I'll help this person and let them go. That's just a personal thing that drives me nuts. And am I alone on that?
No.
Okay.
No.
Good.
Yes.
You would take joy in that. You'd be like, you know what? I could let you through. I'm not going to. And you'd put like 5 more things in your cart too.
I got in line first. You.
One of the most infuriating things I've ever seen, and this was in a Walmart. It was the one time I went to Walmart in Williston, North Dakota, and
oh boy.
Yeah, it was bad. And I went there on a Sunday too, and I mean, it looked like everybody was preparing for the apocalypse. And I went in there to get a couple things, I holding everything in my hand. I go to the express lane, 10 items or 15 items or less. The people in front of me have 2 full grocery carts in the express lane. And granted, they did get there first, but
okay, that's different.
It was still better than going to any one of the other lanes, even though it took them a good 20 minutes to check out. But
yeah, no, they're an express lane. The express lane is the express lane.
Right. But apparently here, the consumers and the employees didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
You can keep playing it for a while, but
Bart.
Yeah, but Dad, remember the cow?
Well, I can demonstrate this one by the bottle of water I just slammed. My kids are notorious for this.
Tell me when I'm close to it, okay?
half full or the flipping it.
The noise.
Oh.
Does it grate on you? Well,
I'm like
me.
I drive my wife nuts with the pen clicky. Every time I have a pen, I click, 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 and do something like that too.
I do that during the podcast half the time. Whether you can hear it or not. Yeah, that drives me nuts. My kids are notorious for it. I just over Christmas, we were playing cards. It was me, 2 of my kids, and my girlfriend, and one of my kids was doing that with the bottle, and I'm just like, stop it. And he's like, whoa, I didn't know you had that in you.
When it's something like that, yes.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you for that. All right. Is this the last one? I guess,
Oh.
right?
Number
this is
four.
number 4? Okay. All right. Let's go with Bob. How about you, sir?
All right, well, this one's it's a little self-induced, but it's very infuriating. So if you in winter here, you got to keep up on your snow blowing, or else you get that awful crust of ice at the end of your driveway. Well, I didn't for this one here, so now I got about a 2-3 inch layer of ice at the end of my driveway. So that's not my pet peeve. It's annoying, but that's my fault. But you take the time, you chunk it away, you finally get it gone, and then that damn snowplow driver comes through and just throws all that snow, and your whole progress is gone.
And
Drives me nuts.
He's laughing the whole time he's doing
I
it.
know. They look forward to doing that.
Darn you, Mr. Plow.
Yep.
They teach that in plow driving school, I think, because everybody that deals with snow is mad at them.
Yep.
I think there's a counseling group for them guys, I think.
What's funny is everybody's happy to see them until they plow in front of their street. Well, I didn't mean you to plow it that way.
The snowplow today went and knocked over both my garbage cans at the end of the driveway from the snow drift that came into my driveway.
Can I tell a quick story about that quick, please?
Yes.
Back when I was a younger man, I was working for an asphalt company. We get laid off, and I don't know, maybe I've told this story. Anyways, in the wintertime, we would plow snow, and I was in charge of this trailer park in Egan, and had this old motor grader that I was using to plow, and it had, a 10-foot blade underneath it, and then there was a 6-foot wing that you could drop down. And the boss told me to open the place up first and get everything to the side of the roads, and then just fly down the road with the wing down and blow the snow into people's yards. Well, I'm cruising along. He had a straight pipe on it, so I was loving it. And, all of a sudden, the grader just slammed to a stop. Lady had like 6x6 railroad ties into a flower bed type thing right next to the road. Oh, I destroyed them. So that's how we're building her a new flower bed.
Oh, well, honest mistake.
Honest.
Yeah, at least you manned up to it. And
well, you had to. I mean, the grader hit it and stopped, and I didn't get the clutch pushed in, and it killed it. And there was no hiding that. Not like the fire hydrant.
What fire hydrant?
Exactly.
Wait. What?
You never heard this story?
No.
You want me to tell it?
Yeah, you tell it.
All right. So when I was 16, dude was about 10 years older than I am. So I was 16. He had his own truck. He was driving with the company. Taylor, I think you were with.
Yep.
And I jumped in with him when I was going to go down, drive around with him for a week during the summer. And I forget, where were we at?
We had gotten loaded with Polaris snowmobiles or 4-wheelers in Spirit Lake, Iowa, and we had 6 drops through Missouri, Arkansas, and we were down in Missouri somewhere.
Yeah, we were in this business park area or something, and he's lost. He's trying to find out a place. Were you trying to find out where we were delivering or a place to crash?
Yep.
He don't know where we're going. And he's pissed, and I know I'm just sitting there because I don't want him to kill me. So all of a sudden he starts making a right turn, and then we hear a. So I get out, and he's like, "What the hell?" So he gets out, walks around, he goes to the side, and I look. He hit a fire extinguisher, knocked the fire extinguisher over. I don't know how it didn't start blasting water up. So he just kind of looks at it and grabs it, moves it, jump in, and we go. And he looks at me, and we didn't do that. I'm like, do what? He goes, exactly.
Oh my goodness.
And that's kind of always just a joke with that. And then about, a day or two later, we ended up driving down this road in Arkansas, this little dirt road that just kept getting more narrow. And you can start hearing the banjos playing. Guy wanders out of the woods. Hey, you guys lost him. what? Think he's gonna cook us for dinner? So,
Back in them days, there was no GPS or well, I think I had a cell phone, but there was no, no Google Maps, no nothing. So you were, you get into the town where you were going and you call for directions, and yeah, bad directions lead to fire hydrants broke off.
yeah. Yeah, but we made it.
We did. Got started. Tippy, you're number 4.
Okay, I was gonna do this one on my seething hatred for commercials and advertisements, but I think that's a pretty universal one. So, going back to the Ric Flair part of the podcast earlier, it's people who, when they get drunk, feel the need to woo or do anything at the top of their lungs.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is a little more of a recent incident. Comes with the story. It was the night before New Year's. It was my first night at that campground in Kentucky, and this campground was about 2 miles off, way back in the woods. There was absolutely no amenities there, but it was a beautiful campground. I get there on the first one there, I'm like, I have this whole place to myself. And then after a while, after I'm setting up, then a couple more people roll into the far side, and then someone else comes into the other far side. But there's not a lot of people there. Maybe 3 or 4 sites are occupied total. And it's getting a little later after dark, but it's it still gets dark early. It's not that late, but I just hear a woo, and then it just echoes across the lake. And this continues till like about 1 a.m, off and on. Like, this guy loves the sound of his own voice echoing across the lake, and it's the funniest thing in the world. And here, I was trying to go to bed at like 10:30, 11 or whatever, because I wanted to get up early, but it wasn't happening that night. I totally forgot I had earplugs in the truck here.
It probably was Ric Flair.
Yes.
No, it was a bunch of college age kids.
Young whippersnappers.
Yep. Mine is, I live in an apartment complex, and people have pets, and that's all great and wonderful. But when they take their pets out to use the bathroom, they let them do it right by the door to the building and don't pick it up, stuff like that. So you walk outside and there's all this crap laying on the ground, and then there's little pee holes in the snow, and don't eat yellow snow, kids. It kind of bugs me. I mean, take them out a little bit further and let them do their business. But there we go. Last one, right? Right, last one.
Last one of the round? That would
Yeah.
Be, yep. I would say this one's kind of becoming obsolete in our modern society, unless you're weird like me. But I still enjoy collecting, video games in particular, and I have a small DVD collection at this point, but I appreciate physical media. And my pet peeve, the people who do not put the disc back in the cases.
Quit looking at me.
Yes, I'm looking directly at your screen.
I know.
Or people who put the discs in a case, not the right case. So, for example, you watch a DVD and then you go watch a new one and you put the old DVD in the new DVD case. I remember one time when Bob was moving, I decided I wanted to watch his set of I Love Lucy DVDs and get get all the seasons I don't have. I had to follow this train of DVDs that were in the wrong case. Where it'd be like, Lucy season 3, disc 1 has Friends season 4, disc 3 in it. So I'd go to Friends season 4, and yep, there's that disc. And I would repeat the process through his entire DVD collection until I was able to piece this together. And yeah,
Didn't he do that to you with a video game once too?
Yeah. That was just not putting the game back in the case, and some rambunctious youngins did a number on the disc.
Okay, all right.
So yeah, I'm not looking at Bob, but I'm looking at Bob. And,
I can feel the burn.
Yeah, I try to keep my stuff in good shape so it'll last me, my discs, and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And yeah.
Nice. Do you have a rebuttal, Bob?
No, it's all true.
Okay. Right. That was everybody for round 4, right? Yeah, I think so. Okay. Last round number 5. I screwed up, kind of went backwards for you guys. My number 1 pet peeve is people that don't hold doors for people. If you see old people or pregnant women or I don't know, even just regular dudes like us coming, it takes no time just to hold the door. Either let them go before you or just hand them off the door or something. Yeah, I went first because it was quick. So,
well, I had an old guy yell at me before. Me and my wife went on a cruise, and the elevator doors opened up. Well, for me, I don't want to let an old lady onto an elevator first and have the doors come and crush her. So I usually go onto the elevator first and I'll hold the door open for people so they come on in. So I went in first, held the door. My wife, the other lady came in, and then the old guy came in, and man, he got mad at me. Ladies first, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, hold the door, dude. You young kids don't know how to treat them. So he got all mad at me I'm like, dude, I could have let your wife get crushed in the elevator. I held the door for her.
yes.
Do you want to know what's fun with that? Hold the door open for someone who is way far away from the door, and watch how uncomfortable they get.
Or you do it the other way. Or Bob and my grandma, she would at an elevator, she would stand 3 inches from the elevator before the doors open. So if somebody was getting off, they had to wait for grandma to get on.
Yep.
Funny. Bob, can I hear your last one?
Yes. Yeah, it's not so much of an issue as much, but I remember it really bothered me about PlayStation 3 era. You'd go to sit down, got the kids to bed, a night off of work, whatever. Like, I'm gonna play some PlayStation. You go to turn it on, system update, and then my internet's so terrible, it would take 3 hours for a system update. Like, well, great, it'll be 2 a.m. by the time I can actually play it. So that would drive me nuts. But I haven't run into that with the newer system, so I don't know if that's really a big thing. I think they automatically do it at night now.
Well, yeah, but I mean, whenever you put in a game disc nowadays, it installs the data before you can play the game. So, it's not, 3 hours worth, but it's still 15, 20, 30 minutes.
I've only got burned by that once. I think when I wanted to play the new Batman Arkham City when it came out, I forgot about the loading time, so I'm all ready to go, and I put it in, and all right, you can play it in 2 hours. So right when I get the game, I'll put it in when I get home and let it load up, so that I won't have to wait for it.
Me and Bort, we were playing a lot of the same games together. Whoever got home to turn on the PlayStation first, we would text each other if there was an update, so you could turn it on while you were working or whatever and let it up.
Nice.
Yeah.
Clever.
Yep.
And some good networking right there.
Yeah. Sippy, sir. You get your last one.
It is drive-throughs, specifically fast food drive-throughs, and maybe 9 times out of 10, your experience usually goes off without a hitch. But those times it does go wrong is one of the most infuriating things that I, on a personal level, have to deal with. And it's just for example here, I mean, really, this is the type of stuff that should ruin your day, really. But when it does happen, it's usually always memorable. Like, there's a few times where people have literally fallen asleep in front of me in a drive-through. Because I don't know how 2 cars could have moved already, and you're still parked in the same spot.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to be a jerk and start honking my horn or whatever, but it's kind of like kind of wave and stick my head out the window, whatever. Anyways, but like a more recent bad experience was in at a McDonald's, which I usually try to avoid whenever possible. Usually I have to be hungry enough to pass out, and it's the only option. But anyways, go through the drive-thru, order spend a quarter pounder with only pickle on it. And I get it, and I pull off to the side, park. I'm going to eat it quick because I'm really, really hungry, and I don't got a lot of time. And I open it up. It comes with everything but pickle on it. I'm like, and then, so I go back to the drive-thru, and it's taken forever. And about, by the time I get up to the, where you order there, and I'm like, hey, you got my food wrong. It's this, and you gave me this. So like, okay, well, I'm ready for you when you pull up. So I get up there, and I hand them the old bag. Like, oh, we can't take that back. I'm like, okay, I'll just throw it down there to, make my truck smell bad for a few days. And then get my new order, pull up again. It's the same thing. Like, 2 bad drive-through experiences in one shot. So by that time, I'm genuinely infuriated. And I actually go into the store at this point, which I should have done in the first place. So,
To add something to that, to your pet peeve there, I don't like when you're in line and the person in front of you or the person in front of them leaves too big of a space. So when it's your turn to pull up to the speaker's even with the hood of your car.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, welcome to McDonald's. What can we make for you? I want a quarter pounder.
Or people that don't do the zipper merge after the drive-thru.
Yeah.
They like try to spin up there quick. And
oh
cut ahead,
yeah, those are absolutely the worst people on the planet. They're worse than crossing guards. I gotta trump you on this one.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Did any of you work at fast food places? I did.
No.
So
I know what you do at fast food restaurants.
hit them. Yes, I did drive into a fast food drive-through restaurant before, but anyway, it was like 1 a.m, and I worked at Wendy's. So 1 a.m, you'd start cleaning stuff up because you close at 2 o'clock or whatever. and you'd always see a car come through. You're like, no, because that means you got to make sure you got to have the grill ready and all that. Well, I was tired. I was working 2 jobs at the time. I was on the burger station. Somebody comes through, and the late night stoner group, they want, I'll take 20 junior bacon cheeseburgers. So they're packing them up, and I'm trying to make them as fast as I can, blah, blah, blah. Stick them out the door. They come back after like 5 minutes. I forgot to put meat in every one of them. So now not only do we have all the old stuff, we had to get rid of that and then make brand new ones again too. So
were you just in that much of a hurry, or were you?
Well, I was never
just stealing them.
Well, I was never that good at doing it. Big shocker. I couldn't do the multitasking. And, well, my wife, she was my boss there, and I was half the time just flirting with her, so, but I never knew what I was doing, so I just kind of slapped the stuff together quick, and yeah, I just had a brain fart and forgot it. And did you know, if you open your burger at Wendy's, there should be a W of mustard in there? If they're not, then they're not doing it right. And do you know why the patties are square? Because Wendy's doesn't cut corners.
I think I've heard that one before, but I can't bring myself to eat mustard, so I won't know the W part. Maybe I'll try it just to see if they're doing their job.
We're gonna get sued now because I gave away some trade secrets, probably.
There you go. Hey, Bort.
You know, I just on the drive-through thing. I mean, you guys know me and my you'll know the child, but you don't want to go through a drive-through with her and then get your order wrong.
Oh.
It's happened a few times, and I've had to do a lot of preaching about, treating people with grace and dignity and stuff like that when it comes to drive-throughs. And
they're supposed to go, you got this wrong.
Yeah.
Fix it now.
Yep, fix it.
Yeah, usually we're in a rush, where we're going to the drive-through on the way to church, and if they screw it up, it's too bad because we don't have time to go back to it, because we're passing it out and all the way anyway. So, yeah,
That's why you go to Quick Trip. They never screw it in.
Yeah, I like Quick Trip.
Yep.
Are they still eating Quick Trip chicken sandwiches and stuff?
Well, they would be if, the one in Woodbury is so bad that we never go to it. So
what's wrong with it?
It was a repurposed old gas station. It's just teeny, and
is that one up by Sam's Club?
No, the one by that's a standard one, but the one by Valley Creek and Radio.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yep.
Yeah,
that used to be a Holiday, I think.
Yeah, it's just a little tiny gas station. It's just not a good. It's the wrong building size for a Quick Trip, so they don't have anything ready ever. It's not. It's like a normal gas station.
I know exactly the one you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I Holiday.
Yep.
I could see why it would be bad because you got to go turn off radio there and then go up the hill, kind of. There's like a little hill going up to it.
No, that's over by his old house at SA. You're talking about Lake.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, that might be that one. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Are there Quick Trips down in North Carolina?
I haven't seen one.
No, it's a.
I mean, I've seen some on the way down here, and there very well could be. I just haven't ran into one lately because I've been in the mountains the last week, really.
In Missouri, there's
kind of more compact.
But it's Q instead of K.
Hey, Doodoo, and all your and Bort or Tippy, you too. What is the best gas station across the country? The best chain of them.
It's plugged in. Why is it?
I don't know, probably Quick Trip, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
They must have a very successful model if they're, I think they have a rule that if they see 3 more people or more than like 2 or 3 people in line, they have to open up another register. So they got so many registers there,
Yeah.
so they can, get people taken care of really
Right.
quickly.
You can come down and play this
Yep.
part.
I think I've ever stood in line for Quick Trip.
Everyone that I've ever been in, always been clean, use the bathroom or whatever, they're always clean and good food. And then when they started selling prepackaged like burgers and stuff, in the coolers, you just grab it and it's good food.
They got good produce and stuff too. Good like actual hamburger and like instant meals and stuff. They have like fresh ones they make that you can freeze and
Yep. Pizza and soups.
Oh,
I haven't tried their pizza. I've been tempted, but I haven't gotten one like an actual like uncold one. Like
back when I was when I actually had to go into the office a few years ago, pre-COVID, I took a route that wasn't very efficient to get to work. I'd go over the Dakota Bridge and then get off on Concord to that Quick Trip, and that's like one of the big Quick Trips in the state where they actually film commercials and stuff like that. And anyway, about once a week they would put their pizzas on sale in the heated food section, and you could get a inch pizza for $5.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cooked. Yep. And they had a chicken Alfredo pizza there. I'd be pulling into this place at 7:40 in the morning. And I'd see this pizza and I'd be like, that's mine. I would take this pizza and I'd have about an 8-minute drive from the Quick Trip to my work. And I would down that entire pizza in the time it took me to get to work. Oh, it was good.
Well, I gotta say though, I think Casey's has the best gas station pizza you will ever find.
Casey's?
Casey's, yep.
Agreed. Yep, they got very good pizza.
I've had that before. It's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could easily eat it for lunch like once or twice a week. Just a slice of Casey's pizza and like a chocolate nut. Oh, that's good eating.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Bort, you are the last up, I guess.
Okay, well, I was supposed to only have 5, but I had to throw this one on just from all the snow we've gotten. I threw this one on just quick. When you're shoveling and you hit a crack in the driveway and it just stops your shovel dead and you walk into the handle of your stomach, can't stand that. Drives me insane. My driveway is, they got, those square cut concrete sections and they're just not the right height. So I hit it every pass I go through and it, yep. It's really bad too if the shovel's just a little too low. But my true number 5 one is a pet peeve from video games, movies, and TV shows, and that is the character who gets amnesia. And the TV shows and movies, video games, they do this as a crutch to withhold information from the viewer because they're not smart enough to tell a really good story otherwise. So that they use amnesia in the main character as a way to withhold information from you to try to build up suspense for whatever it is. And basically to give their movie or show a plot because they've got nothing because they're idiots that can't write good. They can't write anything better than the sentence I'm trying to talk right now.
Whoever's sitting on the stairs back there, tell them hi from me.
Doodoo says hi.
Got a big smile.
Good.
Who is that? Your youngest?
Oldest.
Oldest? Oh.
Yep.
Hi, oldest.
You can say hi. One.
Hi.
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 I was Bort got me back into reading again back in May when I was down at his house, and he was giving me some book suggestions, and he gave me one, and I read it, and I think it was a trilogy, or something, but he told me to skip over number 2, and I'm like, why is that? And he goes, because they do amnesia plot.
Was it like the
Which book was
Bourne
that
movies
again?
that are all about amnesia?
Yeah.
What's that, Bub?
Like the Jason Bourne movies, isn't he like have amnesia or something like that in those movies?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and then as the movies went on, he found out who he was and what they did to him. Yeah.
Cool.
Uh-oh.
Awesome.
Sweet.
What was the book series told you to skip? Or
It was the second Leviathan, wasn't it? No. It was was it the Martian series? The guy.
oh no, the third one, Project Hail Mary.
Yeah. There you go. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Funny.
drove me nuts.
Yep.
I loved the
Well,
other two that I wrote.
Mm-hmm. Gentlemen, this has been fun. It's been fun to talk to you three again,
Yes.
and for you fans of our podcast, thank you for allowing us to take a little break and still be excited to come back and listen to what we have to say. We're going to do a little different recording format, so hopefully this works a little better. And yeah, I want to thank Bob for being here, and I want to thank Bort for being here, and I want to thank Bort's oldest for being here.
And little dude here.
Oh, and there, hey there, dude.
Hi.
And I want to thank Dippy for being here. And you be safe traveling around this country. Awesome. You guys have anything else to add?
Well, thank you very much, Doodoo.
Okay.
And you have a good week as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. So for the Warba Quartet, we'll be signing off. You guys have a good week. Thank you.
Bye.
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 Yep.